Welcome to the Tuttle and Kline Show.
Calvin! Let's do this. That was so fun last week.
The last two episodes have been a lot of fun. Are you kidding me?
I know. We've had a great time. The pilot episode that can be seen on the fuzzy mic, and then what we've done now in terms of episode 1. I mean, this is a lot of fun, buddy.
Yeah, it's a blast, and the reception and the feedback has just been overwhelmingly positive. So great.
I can't even believe it. Is Houston not the greatest city in the world?
It's the favorite city I ever lived in.
Literally, they can take two dudes who haven't done a radio show together in 3 years and make them a top 10% podcast in 7 days.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong in saying 3 dudes. I've got so many voices in my head, dude. It could be 10 dudes.
I know. Trust me, I know Kevin Kline. But that is just so phenomenal. And we got a lot happening that we're going to get into. The response last episode has been so great that we're moving forward. We got merchandising available. I mean, go like and follow the Tuttle and Kline Facebook page. It's got explicit instructions on how you can get. Well, we have a neat logo. I love the logo.
Our logo's been around for, about 20 years is when we constructed that?
Yeah, about 25 years.
It is really cool. And a lot of people have been liking it. You know, with the L, it just makes the Tuttle and Kline. We both have an L in there.
Yeah, somebody messaged me and said we should make that L like a radio tower or something like that. I'm like, we're not going back on the radio, probably.
No, hopefully not.
Yeah, we're gonna do this podcast and make this home base, and we're loving the heck out of it. Another big thing that's happened, Kev, since episode 1 aired is we're starting to get sponsor interest.
This is amazing. All of a sudden, out of the box. But I got to thinking about it, Timmy. The first sponsor that signed on, I've got some great words of praise for them.
Air Innovations.
Yeah, man. You know what? Think about this, okay? You've been with Air Innovations since, 2012 or something?
I've been with them for a good 6 or 7 years. They have supported our show. They've supported me personally in the aftermath of me leaving radio.
Yeah. And think about that. That's loyalty right there, okay? So, and they paid Tim for his advertising purposes, okay? If they care about somebody that they're paying, think about how they're going to care about you, who's paying them.
And that's their big thing, Kev. They've been in business, a family-owned business. These are Houstonians that put this thing together in 2005, and their number one thought is taking care of people.
Yeah, you can tell.
Last summer was the hottest summer in the history of Houston, and they had people ready 24 hours a day because, let's face it, when you have that kind of heat, Kevin Kline, people can get hurt or people can die.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And they had 24/7. And just think about these, and there'll never be any folk songs written about them. You know, there'll never be any parades for them. But just think about these technicians. It's 110 degrees outside. Look at the places they have to crawl in. And look at the stuff coming out of the places they have to crawl in, like snakes and spiders and everything like that, in unbelievable sauna-like heat. But they did it with a smile on their face to get Houstonians up again. And I love that about Air Innovations, 24/7 and always giving a great deal.
I don't think it's going to be as hot this year in Houston. And so the Air Innovations technicians probably won't have it as difficult. The reason I say that is because wasn't Sheila running for mayor last year? And she was talking a lot, right? It's a lot of hot air.
That could have been it. There could have been something like that. I guess fortunately for a lot of people, she did not win.
No, I couldn't believe that. I thought for sure she would.
She's got to run right now. She may not be able to recapture her House of Representatives gig either.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's neck and neck right now. So, she's struggling for her political life. And she's got to be thinking, oh, my God, I got to keep this train going. What do I got to do? But anyway, Kev, Air Innovations, phenomenal people. Family operation available 24/7 in case you have an emergency. And you can call them right now, 281-830-2412, 281-830-2412, Air Innovations.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see their logo in the bottom right corner, bottom left corner.
I love it. And, we've had some other people inquiring about sponsorship. If you, want to know anything about, information about rates and what we're doing and everything like that, just message us or comment on any of our social media, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Now,
Absolutely.
what did you notice about the mics last week? Kevin Kline is the king of observations, and when you get some kind of Rorschach ink thing happening in your head, I cannot wait to hear this.
Well, I was thinking about the Rocco Siffredi comment that you made last week. And while I was editing these, I was looking at the microphones, and it totally makes sense that you're the one with kids in this partnership. I don't have any kids. You're very up to date with your microphone. It looks kind of like, 2000 and plus Playboy. I look like I'm going back into the 80s with mine, 70s and 80s with my microphone.
Kev, yours has personality though.
It does have personality, but holy cow, man, looks like it needs a trim.
Yeah, yours looks like I don't know, Shaft's afro.
Well, it's supposed to look like Don King's hair.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I thought of it when I saw it. I'm like, oh, Don King's hair.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. And I may have to get something neat. I look at your background and everything like that. I mean, you have that whole studio thing happening. I'm the guy in the apartment, piping it out.
Do you know who built this studio?
Who?
You're looking at him.
You built your own studio?
My brother-in-law and I. Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
We took this down to the studs.
Is it real? I mean, because initially I thought you were just using some of that, CGI graphics type stuff. That is like everything is built there. That's a door.
Yeah.
And that's the sound cancellation foam and all of that stuff.
Yeah. The door goes to the supply closet. So I've got all my extra supplies back there, you know what I bought for us?
What'd you buy?
If I can ever figure out how to use it, I bought an instant replay 360.
Get out of here.
I did, man. I know how much you love playing with that.
Yeah. Kevin Kline, for 25 years was our edit guy. And he just loved getting his hands on raw audio so he can just make it absolutely perfect. And I can't believe, so you're investing now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, listen, it is very more important than ever because Kevin Kline, when he invests money, we need to do something to capture the funds. So sponsorship, if you want us to sponsor, we'll take care of you. Go get some merchandise right now. We have, I think, the coolest logo in all of podcasting. I really do. So go buy some merch so we can help Kevin Kline recover some of his funds that he's outlaying.
It's no big deal. It's all for the benefit of our listeners. It's all for the benefit of my mentality and my sanity.
Yes, this is a giant 90-minute therapy session once a week so we can keep Kevin Kline off of ledges. We don't want him to jump. Speaking of which, Kev, this is so timely. I have a friend of mine, a buddy of mine. Mm-hmm. He found out his wife was cheating on him.
No.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
Yeah. It was one of those situations where he walked in.
Oh,
he travels a lot.
Uh-huh.
He's all over the place, and he got in early, and it was a Valentine's type thing. He wanted to surprise her. So he had a massive bouquet and everything like that. And he was so excited. And he walked in on Valentine's Day, and his wife was doing him wrong.
Well, that's not a surprise you want.
And her guest was doing other things.
Oh, I bet.
So he is, I literally had to talk him off the ledge, I
can imagine.
He's in love. And not only that, they have a little boy together.
Ooh.
And now he's out, that kind of thing. Cause he travels all the time. So she'll get custody of the boy and, he'll get visitation and everything like that. But because, so everything completely went upside down on him. And I felt so bad for him.
Yeah. How can you feel good for anybody that has to go through that kind of situation? But he's come to the right place.
Well, you know what? I like to turn things around, especially since I've been meditating and looking at life in different ways. And I told him, I said, hey, look, everything's going to be okay. You're in a bad, dark area right now. And I've been there myself, buddy. And there are ways of turning this around. And I told him, I said, for example, let's talk about your bucket list. What are the things that you have wanted to do all your life and you really never had the opportunity to do it? And he said skydiving.
Oh, cool.
And I said, well, I'm going to take you because I've gone skydiving 3 times. Kev, you were
I
there
know.
for one of them.
Yeah, I know. You landed it perfectly.
And that is one of the greatest releases. I mean, you go up 10,500, 11,000 feet. You jump down tandem. You're with somebody who's a professional, so you don't have to think about anything or worry about anything. You do a 60-second free fall, and you're doing like 120 miles an hour, and you actually feel weightless, and it's just the most amazing. To me, I wasn't alive until the first time I skydived. That was the first time I was alive. I was born.
I've heard you say that numerous times.
Yeah, so to speak. And by the way, I'm so happy that the tandem, that the professional is hooked to you, because I was going through such euphoria, I would have forgot to pull the chute.
I think that's why they do it. Your first time, it always has to be tandem because you would forget.
Well, yeah, and now, Kev, since then they've had transponders put in that automatically fire the chute at I don't know what it is, 1,500 feet or something like that. They automatically fire
kidding.
it. So
that's
yeah.
cool. Okay.
They're really
nice measure.
They're really, authorities are really against you splatting in unknown places.
Right.
That could get bad. I mean, you could, the powers that be don't want you like flying through the roof of one of their eyes wide shut party, or something like that. And so they've made that a rule that they want the transponders in there.
So are you going to take him to Skydive Spaceland?
Well, little. He got, I talked him off the ledge, and now he's like, well, I have everything to live for, my son and everything like that. And I'm going to put this behind. As a matter of fact, Tim, there's this very attractive lady now that, she found out what happened, and she's, kind of looking and everything like that. And he says now he's a little bit worried about skydiving. He's like, now I don't want to die. I don't want anything to happen. And I told him, I said, look, the stats are clear.
Yeah.
You have much more of a chance of being struck by lightning than having anything happen negatively when you're skydiving. You know what he said to me?
Huh? No.
When I was 17, I was struck by lightning.
Oh, well, maybe what did you forego that skydiving, that jump?
Yeah, I just thought about it. It's like, because they use that, you have a better chance of being struck by lightning, to negate any like negative activity or whatever. What do you say to these people who've actually been struck by lightning? They're like, they're going to kill this thing. This thing's definitely going to kill me. I've been struck by lightning.
Yeah, there is really no, you have a better chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah. And then I got to thinking further on it, Kevin. I'm just thinking to myself, because I had to talk him down from the ledge, and the lightning strike, you're thinking, gosh, it's God here. He's like, God.
Yeah.
I can't kill him. Let's bring in the experts.
Bring in the experts.
The women know how to do it.
Hey, you said something in that conversation that I'm kind of curious about, and I'm sure there are people out there going through that similar situation. How long does it take to get over that? Do you ever?
It depends on your feelings for the person.
Okay.
Like it's happened to me twice where they've left me or they've split with me. And one of them, I was like, yeah, I saw that coming. So I had readied myself.
Oh, okay.
Like I was getting signals that was coming. Now the exact, what happened and the details and like that was total bullshit, but that's another story for another time. The second one, that hurts, man. I mean, I'm still not over that one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Amazing, beautiful woman, fits me absolutely perfect. We always have great conversation and good laughs. The physical aspect of it, there's no quote unquote freak gap. We're both are in sync in regards to that. But yeah, that, I think it just depends And I don't know, in all honesty, if I'll ever be totally over that one, because that was the one where it's like, okay, this person was probably put here for me, but
Oh,
I am just so screwed up. I'm so annoying after a certain period of time that they don't have to put up with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I get that. I get that. But I mean, if you're compatible,
Well,
I think you can overlook that.
Kev, here's the deal: is and my issues.
Sure.
I've been actually diagnosed with adult autism level 1.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. Oh, who didn't see that coming? I mean, I'm growing. When I grow up, I used to play by myself. I had a huge family, brothers and sisters, but I would
Yeah.
play by myself. I would throw the tennis ball against the wall and catch it and simulate baseball games in my head and everything like that. Or I'd be out in the backyard playing basketball, you know? So
Yeah.
I was alone a lot. I enjoyed being alone a lot. I couldn't even look people in the eyes. I was so socially awkward until adulthood. I never looked people in the eyes.
Oh, well, this is good information to know. I always thought you just hated hanging out with me, but no, it's like
No, no,
you
no, no,
hate
no.
hanging out with
Oh,
everybody.
it's so, and here I have you, a lifelong friend. We've been friends for 28 years going on now.
Yep. Yep.
And my brother Todd is the greatest guy ever.
He's amazing.
And yet I only have intermittent contact with you guys, hit and run contact with you. And I hate that about myself, but there's something that goes on in there that makes that happen.
Oh, I'm
You
the
know,
worst. I'm the worst at communication, though. I mean,
yeah.
I move out of sight, out of mind. See ya.
Yeah, well, I see, and that's the thing. And Kev, my origin story too. I mean, I'm so shy and everything like that. Plus, you add the fact that I went to 3 different high schools and was moving around a lot. I basically, in order to get over it, developed a character to make me, socially acceptable in high school.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that character is, Han Solo.
uh huh.
The moment he said to Princess Leia after she says, "I love you, Han," he goes, "I know." And I heard the laughter in the theater. I was like, "That's who I want to be."
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then a little bit of Burt Reynolds, Smoking the Bandit. That you mix those together, and that's who I became, a character. And in all honesty, that character was so good that character became a radio personality and has given me a fantastic career.
Well, think about it though. If you didn't go to 3 different schools growing up in high school, I bet you that's probably where your comedic chops started, because you could either go up and curl up into a ball, or you could try to make people laugh to ingratiate yourself and make friends quicker.
Kev, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I had an accounting teacher in high school, and he saw, and I just moved there, and I'm new, and I'm awkward, and I'm goofy, and he saw that for half of the semester, the first semester I got there, and he was pretty strict, Mr. Blackwell. He was pretty strict, and I cracked a joke one time in his class, which not a lot of people do,
Mhm.
because he's an accounting teacher, for God's sake.
Yeah.
and, and it got a huge laugh. And he looks at me, he goes, "Mr. Tuttle, can I see you after the class, please?" And everybody in the classroom go, "Oh, oh." You know what Mr. Blackwell said to me after the class? He said, this is a tough school. And I noticed that you're new and you're struggling a little bit. He said, "I usually don't like this. And as long as you keep it under control, go ahead, and you have a great sense of humor. Go ahead and joke a little bit, and that'll help ingratiate you to your fellow students."
Yeah.
And I loved him forever for that. Like, he let me work on material as a 16-year-old in his classroom. And the next thing you know, I've grown now. I'm 6'1" and I'm muscular. I feathered my hair back from the bowl haircut. I'm cracking jokes. And now girls are looking at me. I'm like, now I know what to say too. Just make them laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, some of my issues is I'm, quote unquote, never serious. It's always joking. And that's caused a problem. I mean,
Yeah.
Kev, with the beautiful women that I've been with, I mean, they don't have to put up with anything. They can find any dude that they want.
Kleenex.
Exactly. Kleenex. Exactly. The one that I'm talking about, that I was talking about, where it still stings. I mean, while I'm with her, David Charvet from Baywatch, tries to
Yeah.
hit her up on FaceTime. She's got Major League Baseball players DMing her, PGA Tour players DMing her. She doesn't have to put up with socially awkward weird dude who can't shut it off and is never serious ever.
Well,
It's exhausting.
do you still talk?
Oh yeah, we're fine. We're
So
fine.
if that's the one, how can you deal with that?
There are more extenuating circumstances.
Okay.
It's the wrong time. It was the wrong time, wrong place, wrong situation,
Yeah.
and she deserves the optimal situation. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You want the best for somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference. That's the difference when you really, and I've never been that guy. You know me, a little bit of a selfish guy. Me. That's how I know that I really care about this person, is like, okay, it hurts. It's like, it feels like I'm being savagely wounded,
Mhm.
but this is the best for you. And that's part of the
That's
meditation.
growth, man.
Well, that's part of the meditation too. Something I've come up with is with any situation. I do not understand the angst towards the X thing. I don't get it. I mean, sometimes it's just not meant to happen. And if one person is not happy, you don't want them staying in the relationship. If you don't make them happy, you want them to go find their happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So in all of my relationships, I choose to remember the things about them that I really liked, that made me attracted to them. And I choose to remember the good times and fun times we had, instead of having any angst towards them whatsoever. Because bottom line is either they didn't make me happy and I had to flush it, or hey, I didn't do it for them and they deserve it. That's what happens when you start going into meditation and really thinking, four-dimensional chess. Is you're more understanding, and plus it gives you a chance to grow as a person. It's like, okay, what happened in that relationship? What can I work on? How can I be better? You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the next situation that I have, I mean, they're going to get the best version of me that has ever been out there. Because, I know now.
Yeah. You're learning as you go. I mean, life is a learning process. The entire, from the day you're born until the day they put you in the ground or throw your ashes somewhere, you're constantly learning if you're open to it.
Yeah. I mean, so, now if I have a time machine, Kev.
Yeah.
Yes, I still do cruise back to November 22nd, 1963, go to the grassy knoll, and I put a bullet in the actual shooter's head that killed Kennedy.
Okay.
Because everything changed after that for the worse in this country. It's never been the same. That's the number one thing. And the number two thing, I go talk to 17-year-old me.
And say what?
It's a long conversation.
Oh, well, we've got time.
I would just basically say, hey man, you've got a lot coming for you. You have some success coming. You have great opportunities coming. I know you have a weakness for pretty ladies. This is how you should handle it though. This is what you should do. I would just step by step.
Isn't it crazy how experience is such a teacher?
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is I was such a rebel at 17. You know what 17-year-old me would say back? F
you.
Fuck you, old man. Get in your little portal and head back to 2024. I'm going to do it my way.
Yep, I'm going to do it my way until you get to that age where you're like, man, I could go back and talk to 17-year-old now because I know it. You brought something up in there that leads me to the top 3 that I had for you this week.
Oh, wow. So we're thematic.
Yeah, well, it's based on last week where we built our Mount Rushmore of comedians. Okay.
Yes.
Well, this week, and you brought it up already. I want to talk about the top 3 presidents who aren't on Mount Rushmore.
Oh.
Obviously JFK. You just mentioned it.
Okay, Kev. This is easy for me.
I know.
Number 3, I would probably have Ronald Reagan.
Okay. Why?
Well, the great hair. He's got awesome
the
hair.
great hair.
And that would just look so cool and rock. You know,
Oh
no,
yeah.
actually, he was awesome. He was a good president. I mean, we were feeling like garbage as a country. We were down, you know, the oil crisis, the Iranian hostage crisis, which I think is hilarious because the day he was going to be inaugurated, I think it's the exact day or somewhere around there, Iran said, "Oh, this is totally cool. We're going to let you have them." Because you know why? Because Ronnie Reagan was going to go bury them
Yeah.
if they didn't give us our hostages back. So, you know, I got to go Ronald Reagan.
Okay. And then,
He's a Republican, and I mix it up. I mean, JFK, man,
yeah.
is number two to me. JFK didn't want the Vietnam War, and that's what got him killed. Federal Reserve is evil. He wanted to shut that down. That got him killed. He wanted to take the power away from the CIA, actually fired Alan Dulles, and now look at all the crap the CIA does to us in our name, you know? And he wanted the FBI, same thing, all that reform. You know, he wanted to get back to the true republic that we could be. And, you know, the equality and everything like that. JFK, that is a very brave man.
Okay.
So, number one, Donald Trump.
Really?
Dude, just forget about the mean tweets. Forget about, yeah, he's rough around the edges. Yeah, probably not going to invite him to the Thanksgiving family meal. But performance-wise, he is the highest performing president we have ever had. Just look at it from raw statistics, what he did. He got us completely off of other energy, other countries' energy. We were so taking care of ourselves. We were no longer energy reliant. They had the economy just popping and going crazy, taking stupid regulations away. And he's putting the evil forces who have very evil and nefarious intent for us in their place. And that's why he gets so much resistance. So I don't know. To me, when the most evil entities, individuals, and organizations on planet Earth hate you, make up lies about you, and want to take you down in any way that they can, I like you.
Okay.
That's mine.
Yeah. Mine only differs in one.
What's
I mean,
that?
I've got Reagan. Reagan was the first leader to ever inspire me to want to do something to better humanity.
Right.
You know, I mean, he was a motivator, man. And what a great speaker. He was, you know, I didn't really know much about policy back then because I really didn't care. But man, he inspired me. He did.
FDR?
JFK,
Oh,
and then yeah, FDR. Yeah,
you got FDR on there.
I do. I mean, you know, if you stop World War II,
Well, actually, technically, Truman did that.
well, yeah, but I mean, he sat down with Stalin and Churchill.
No, I mean, basically, FDR did the right thing. He let his generals do what they need to do. And, you know, they put together the Normandy D-Day plan and everything like that. And, you know, he let generals be generals. And he's like, you know, I don't care about rules. I mean, we got an evil SOB sitting there in Berlin, and this thing's got to be stopped immediately.
Yeah. So that would be my list. So we only differ by one. So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Not bad at all.
By the way, we want to hear what yours are, or if you take issue with anything we said, we're fine.
Yeah.
We love to have feedback, good, bad, ugly. Go ahead and comment on our social media. Hey, you forgot Woodrow Wilson was phenomenal, you know?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. You know, speaking of being able to take it, I was insulted yesterday by a client that I'm working with. And yeah, I brushed it off.
You what?
I was insulted by a client. I
Who
wasn't
insulted
offended.
you?
So some guy. So I'm narrating some medical stuff, and it's always professional when you don't know a term. You ask the client to phonetically spell that out. So I asked, and I said, you know, I'm having difficulty with these words. I want to get it right the first time. I don't want to have to recut this. Can you give me the phonetic pronunciations? You know what his reply was?
What?
Are you fluent in English?
Oh, hold on. What is the word, Kev? I'm so curious.
Oh, there's numerous words. FLEAVA. How would you pronounce that? It's a drug.
F L E
FLEAVA.
A V A. Flava.
Yeah, that's why you ask, because that's not it. It's fleava. Fleava. I asked, and
Oh.
so he writes it FLEE hyphen A hyphen VA. I'm like, that doesn't tell me much of anything. Where's the inflection? Where's the emphasis? Is it fleava or is it fleava? You know? And he says, well, I
Yeah.
thought you were fluent in English. And then he writes
Well,
back, he goes, oh, I looked at your video. Yeah, you are. So I messaged him back and I explained to him. And then at the very end, I'm like, and you're a dick.
did you say that?
Yeah.
You said you're a dick?
Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah.
Kevin Kline.
Yeah, I messaged him back and I said, I'm just trying to get this right. I am very fluent in English. It's my native language. I don't appreciate your attempt at humor. You're the only one laughing. I don't find it funny. Give me these pronunciations. I'll get this done for you as quickly as possible because you're a dick and I don't want to work with you.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. Kev, that is first off, that's somebody that I don't even know. That Kevin Kline.
Well, it's
Is
highly
it,
unprofessional, but so was he.
yes. Can he give you a bad rating now and kind of mess you up?
Yeah. Yeah, he can, but he's getting one too.
Okay. Let me just throw this out here really quick. It is more important than ever that you tell everybody about the Tuttle and Kline podcast and buy our merchandise. Kevin Kline is going guns a-blazing now.
No, what you know what it is, Tim, and it's kind of goes back to what you said the very first time we got back together 3 weeks ago. As you get older, you give a shit less.
Yes.
You know, you
Yes.
just do. I don't got time for insults.
I don't care anymore. I just don't. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. It's not going to change who I think I am. I know who I am. When you get to be our age, you know who you are.
Yeah.
The other people can't define you or try to define you. You are who you are.
Let me go back to what I just said. I don't. I said I don't. I don't got time for insults. But I'm the one that said you're a dick. So yeah, I guess I do got time for insults.
And that's kind of funny though, because you know if he was joking, Kev, some of me's like, "Hey, Kev, why don't you laugh with him?"
Yeah, no. After I sent that to him, he actually messaged me back and he said, I apologize for the insult. I actually thought after I sent it, it was insulting. And that's why I kind of made the joke because I, wanted to kind of ease the edges.
Okay, sounds like you two are on a path of recovery.
Oh, no, I'm going to get done with this today and then I'm going to be done with him and give him a shitty rating.
Okay.
You don't do that.
Kevin does voiceover work for
Yeah.
those of you unaware. He does voiceover
Not for
work.
anybody in Houston after they heard that story.
Well, Kev, yeah. There's some clients that would respect your candor.
Yeah.
And would be okay with it.
No.
Okay. Hey, I'm curious about this. You said, hey, Tim, remind me to bring up something going on how inflation is affecting homeless people. What are you seeing out there?
So we pulled off the highway 3 or 4 days ago, and there was a panhandler with a sign that said, need 99 cents for a cheeseburger. Where the hell are you getting a cheeseburger these days for 99 cents? Dude needs to up his sign, right?
Right.
Can you go anywhere and get a 99-cent hamburger?
I don't think you can.
Exactly.
I think they're a minimum of $2 now. Even the cheap McDonald's like hamburger cheeseburger, the single skinny little patty with buns and mustard and ketchup and onions on it, and you can throw some cheese and pay an extra dime or something. I think those are about $2 now.
Exactly. So see, inflation's just killing the panhandling business.
Well, maybe, Kev, just maybe that's the sign he's had since 1995.
Exactly.
And he can't afford to get a new sign because
exactly
of
what I said. So I would have put need 99 cents for new cardboard.
Oh, feeling it.
You got it?
Feeling it.
Yeah. Because then he can up the price.
Did you give him any money?
Oh no, he was in the opposite side of the freeway.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I used to give money all that. I don't give money anymore.
Okay. You give advice? What? You're full of advice.
They're probably looking and going, you're driving by yourself. listening to Pantera. I don't think I'm going to take your advice, to be honest with you. That's funny. I don't. I just, I used to give all the time. I used to like, especially when we started to do well and, make money.
Mhm.
When we started, Kev, we didn't make anything. We made shit 50 an hour.
That's right. We were in government housing.
We lived exactly. We lived in government housing. This was the year 2000, even the early 2001.
Yep.
And Audrey was on the way. My little girl Audrey was on the way. And I can remember specifically, her mom saying, "Yeah, Tim, this nothing 50 an hour in government housing. It's getting a little, we got to buy a crib. We got to do this." And then right then the Birmingham thing came like 2 days later.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was quick.
it's like God, sees what's going on. It's like, okay, well, let's help him out a little bit. But yeah, I don't give, because the one time I gave the guy $10,
Huh?
and about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I'm driving back in that area, going the other way, and he's walking with a case of Bud Light under his arm, and I'm just like, that was bad. That's bad.
When I was living in Rice Military, and I would go run over at Memorial Park, right on the 610 feeder road and Memorial. I don't know if he's still there, but the original Spider-Man would sit there, and I would always wave to him. I'd be like, "Hey, Spider-Man," and he'd wave back. And one day I just got sick of doing that, and so I changed my route. I went over and I said, "Hey, Spider-Man." I'm always saying, "Hey, Spider-Man," waving, and you're always waving back. I'm like, "Tell me your story." And he's like, "Well, yeah,
awesome.
Yeah." I'm like,
hold on. Did he go, "Well, I was bit by a spider"?
No, he did not. No. He said, yeah, he was raised by his parents, and they both died in a car crash, and he had no discernible skills. And so he just became homeless and became a guy that asked for money on the street corner. And he said, "You don't have to call me Spider-Man anymore." He goes, "But I am the original Spider-Man. There's another guy that thinks he's Spider-Man, but I'm the original one." He said, "You can call me Larry." And I said, "Well, Larry," I said, "I'm going to make a deal with you. My name's Kevin. And every time I run by and I go, 'Hey, Spider-Man,' if you say," I said, "because I'm doing this because I can tell you're a prideful man." I said, he was showing me his license that he's the only one that could sit at that corner because he pays $20 a month to have a city license to panhandle that corner.
Really? Is that a thing?
That's a thing. He showed me it. And I said, "Larry, I can tell you're a prideful man, and if circumstances were different, you probably wouldn't be here. So I'm gonna make a deal with you. When I run by and I say, 'Hey, Spider-Man,' or 'Hey, Larry,' if you say, 'Hey, Kevin,' I'm gonna give you $5 every time, and it did. Yeah, every
That's
time.
awesome.
Yeah, yep. So I got his story. I'm like, "So he's diabetic." I said, "You got any kids?" He goes, "Oh, Mr. Kevin, ain't got no kids. Fucked a lot of women. Ain't got no kids." Yeah.
I should have bought his book.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, but no,
That's awesome.
That was the deal we made.
See, here's the thing that I would do though. See, if he tells me, "Hey, don't go to that other Spider-Man. I'm the original Spider-Man." The next time I came by and I'd roll down my window and I'd be like, "Hey, I just gave some money to you."
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Spark the Spider-Man wars.
Yeah, of course.
Wait, hold on, Kev. Did you just go sensitive on me with this guy? Yeah, I think you like him.
I do like him. Larry and I would hug after we would talk. We would hug, and I'd be off. The day before Thanksgiving, I asked him. I said, "How you spending Thanksgiving?" He goes, "Oh, Mr. Kevin, it's the best day of the year for me." He goes, "I wake up and I go to the shelter and I get my turkey and gravy, and then later on in the afternoon I go to the church for dinner, and they give me the ham and the turkey and stuff." I'm like, "Well, what are you eating tonight?" And he said, "Well, I got $15." He goes, "If I get $5 more, I could have dinner and stay in a hotel room." He said, "But right now I'm just trying to get the hotel room." I said, "Tell you what do you want to eat?" And he goes, "Oh, I'd love me some fried chicken." So we went over to Randall's right there on San Felipe and got him a whole fried chicken We got him some mashed potatoes and gravy. We got him a water and brought it back to him. By the time we went through the underpass and came back around, it was gone, dude. It was gone. He was just mowing that thing down.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Just by chance, is Larry an older black gentleman?
Larry is an older black gentleman. Yes, sir. Yes.
Because that's your older black gentleman voice.
Yeah. And I would do that for Larry. Yeah. And he would laugh. Yeah. I'm like, you got such a distinct voice and a distinct delivery. I'm like, can I try and impersonate you? And he goes, oh, Mr. Kevin, that would be funny.
Kevin, the reason why I would call him John Rogers.
Yeah, wouldn't you though?
That's the same voice Kevin gives John Rogers. When Kevin and I were in Birmingham, and you'll hear it sometimes. I think I even said it at the top of this show. I said, Calvin.
Yeah, and I would tell it.
The reason why we do this is about 20 years ago, we were doing a morning show in Birmingham, Alabama. And there was a congressman. Was he a congressman or was he local?
No, he was congressman.
Okay. His name was John Rogers. He's an older black gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And he was running for re-election, and I guess things were tighter for him than they've ever been. He was a lifelong congressman and never had any problems whatsoever, but I guess things were getting tight for him because his people told him, quote unquote, hey, you got to go on this Tuttle and Kline show. Even the brothers and sisters love this show and are listening to him. We need all the votes we can get, John. So, what they armed John Rogers with was a little note with our names on it. He didn't listen. He didn't know who we were. So he would look over and I would ask him a question and he'd go, that's a good question, Tuttley.
Tuttley. It was.
And then Kevin would ask a question he'd go, Calvin, I like how you're thinking right there, and I think the same way for the good people of Birmingham, Alabama. So Kevin and I just got a kick out of that the whole time he's calling us Calvin and Tuttley, and we're not going to stop him.
Hell no.
Because we were doing a rock show, so we were dicks. And B, it was just so fun because our producer and the knuckleheads in the other room were just laughing their asses off. So we're not going to stop that.
But what was really funny was we got him to open up. He was very candid with us after a while, and he was proposing higher taxes. And you said to him, "Do you remember this?
Yeah,
do you remember what he said to this?"
I said, Representative Rogers, everything you're talking about, very, very expensive. Obviously, you weren't going to need to raise taxes on that. And I'm just, when does it ever stop? I mean, you would probably want all of our money, every single penny, and then do with it what you want if you could get it, right?
Yep. And what did he say?
What did he say? He goes, Tuttley. That's probably a good idea. I would make sure everybody's taken care of. Yeah. But most folks don't know what to do with all their money, and they waste it and do. So a 100% tax rate, that would probably be a good thing.
Did not deny that.
I was like, okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. If you give them a chance, they'll take it all.
So, but it was he ended up becoming a pretty decent friend of the show. He would come on often.
Oh yeah, and eventually he got our names because I think somebody probably told him.
Yeah, but we still talk about it to this day.
After about the third or fourth time, Tuttle, Kline. You could tell he was like practicing in the green room before going in. Tuttle, Kline. Love that guy, John Rogers. What happened to him?
I don't know. I'd be surprised if he's still around.
Did they ever get the dome?
They get a money for the dome.
They didn't get the dome.
No, he ran on that.
Yeah, Birmingham never got the dome.
No, never did. No, he wanted to build a dome because he wanted to build a dome so it would attract a major professional sports team, and that's what he ran on.
Right.
I want your money for the dome.
Right. Hey, Kev, I got to tell you this. For those of you unaware, Kevin Kline is a massive long distance runner. How much do you do?
I just ran 13 yesterday. So yeah, I'm when I'm in peak, I'm running between 70 and 120 miles a week. So figure 90 a week.
Right.
Yeah.
God dang, man, that's crazy, dude. I mean, I'll do 3 mile fast walk cardio,
Hmm.
probably about 4 times a week. And then 3 times a week after I lift, I'll do a 2 mile cardio. But you're off the charts, man.
Just it would be a great endeavor for an adult with level 1
Autism.
autism, because you're by yourself for 3 to 4 hours a day.
Well, Kev, I'm by myself. A lot more than that, buddy.
At least you can laugh about it.
Oh man, you know
You
what?
have to.
I'm actually enjoying it because all of my adult life has been one relationship to another, to another, to another. No pause, no break. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm actually for the first time, like ever, in a chill mode for now it's been like what I don't know 7 8 months or something like that. I mean, I still
You visit.
visit.
Yeah.
Thank
I get it.
Kev, you know my current situation.
I do.
I mean, that's a great situation.
I'm sure it is.
It is a wonderful situation.
The confidence you must have.
It's Kev, that's the one thing. I've always been able to, when the chips are down, rise to the occasion. Anyway, back to running.
Yeah.
I told you this that Audrey, my daughter,
Uh-huh.
is a little bit of a runner too. She did her second half marathon yesterday at Walt Disney.
That's an amazing race. That is, if you want to just see what an A-list race is, try and get into Disney, because the worst thing about Disney is the start time. It's 4 a.m. because they close the park down. They literally close the park down for the marathon and half marathon.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding at all.
Are they making enough off of the entry fees for that to be viable? Because
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Geez, I think when I ran it in 2010, 2009, it was $250 then.
Are you serious?
For the full marathon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Audrey's got a job now, so you're not paying for that. So you can breathe easy. Yeah. But no, they closed the entire park down, and every mile you can stop and get your picture taken with a Disney character, because they're all out there.
Why would you stop? Aren't you going for a time?
Well, no, not really. Not at that one, because it is such an event and it's so unique. The surface is perfect to run on. It's a little softer than concrete, a little softer than asphalt. But the start is amazing, because they have a whole fireworks display at the start. It's a really cool race. So I was really happy to find out that she was running that one.
Yeah. And she enjoys it, hangs out with her friends and everything like that. But it's so funny. It was like just a couple hours, actually the day before, maybe about 12 hours before actual race time. She texts the group text, my mom, her mom and me and Jonas and her boyfriend, and then her stepdad are on, and says, I'm thinking of getting a tattoo on my ankle.
Oh,
well, she already has a small one.
Okay.
Which is no problem. But now she's taking that Accutane.
What is that?
Accutane is for, blemishes and everything like that.
Okay.
And it is a crazy substance, because there's so much crap that you can't do when you're on Accutane. I mean, you've heard all those commercials. I mean, it's the worst, probably commercial ever, rectal bleeding, projectile leprosy, blah, 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 everything, like, don't get pregnant, your child will be a mutant, all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And she's saying, hey, I'm on the Accutane. Can I get the tattoo? My doctor says no. And we're like, okay, let's stop for a second here. So you're bypassing the guy who went to school for 8 years, had an internship, his advice, and you want to go to, a family who has no background whatsoever. And I don't know whether she did or not. I don't think she did, because I think her mom and I talked her out of it. But I was just thinking, for all the stuff that could go wrong. I mean, and I even told her this. I said, it sounds like, from all the disclaimers and your doctor and everything like that, it sounds like getting a tattoo on Accutane sounds like an origin story for a Marvel villain.
Yeah, right. What would you name that villain?
I'm glad you asked, Kev. Because
you have one. Okay.
I've written the outline already.
Sweet.
and I'm going to send this to Marvel. The new Marvel villain, Accutainted.
Accutainted. And what would that accutainted look like?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. It would be a young lady, very muscular, blonde, probably like Audrey. She could play the role.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, she does a marathon and leaves the Kenyans in dust. Then after finishing 26.2 miles in 12 minutes, she takes
In 12
Mickey.
minutes.
She takes Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto hostage.
Oh, so she's a villain.
Yeah, she's a Marvel villain. I mean, because you think Accutane and a tattoo is going to make you a good person? No.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a villain. So she takes them hostage and she demands that the Department of Defense uses its newly developed time machine to go back in time and allow Thanos to live.
Thanos. Okay.
Yeah. She threatens to cut off Mickey or Minnie's ear, one of their ears, every hour until Thanos shows up at Disney World so they can begin their reign of terror.
So they basically just have to last 4 hours. She's going to cut off Mickey and Minnie's ear one an hour.
Well, the Department of Defense has a hyper turbo.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Time machine. It goes really fast.
That was really fast.
Anyway, while the hostage situation is in effect, she causes dissension among the Disney friends. She actually asks Pluto how he can accept being Mickey's pet dog when Goofy's also a dog, but gets to hang out and go places with Mickey.
True that.
Anyway,
you have a lot of thinking time, don't you, buddy?
Anyway, there's a little mock-up outline for you people at Marvel. If you go ahead and green light that thing, you can buy that. I just need $1.5 million. $1.5 million.
$1.5 million. That's it. Huh?
That's nothing for them.
I know. Yeah.
That's $1.5 million.
Don't you want any back end? Don't you want any residuals from the sequel?
Kev, what I do with groupies is completely separate to this entire situation. Okay.
Okay.
Why do you have to bring that up?
Hey, you said something in that when you were talking about Accutane. Next time you're watching TV and a medicine commercial comes on, count how many times you hear could result in death.
Yes.
And count how many times you hear could result in anal leakage.
Oh yeah.
They do not. I found this out from a drug, the husband of somebody who makes drugs. They have to submit all these drugs for name approval, for what possible side effects they can do. They literally shudder when these FDA people come back and say, yeah, anal leakage, it causes that. And they're like, can you just not put that in there? Can you put that, is that like so minor that we can overlook that?
In all honesty, because they own our politicians and they own the media too. I mean, look at every commercial. I mean,
it's constant.
Basically, you watch a TV program and that's, it's just something that interrupts a prescription drug commercial. That's what it is. I mean, content is literally made today just so they can push drugs on us. And they have immunity from civil suits. I mean, they have all of it, So I'm surprised that stuff is even there. But, most people don't read. They don't, because look how fast they do it. Could cause anal leakage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but they don't.
And you're like,
rarely will you hear that.
Yeah, it was like, what did he just say right there? Because I have that problem. I could use something like that. But let me try to slow it down. No, because it's anal leakage.
Yeah, no.
Death.
But it's crazy that the drug manufacturers don't care that it might cause death. They'll put that in there. But the other side, no, we don't want to hear that.
They don't want the anal leakage.
No, because people won't buy it then.
Yeah.
People will take their chances with their own life, but they won't with their butt.
I'm cool with the dirt nap.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Dying's okay, but I do not want anything coming out of my butt without me like specifically ordering it out of the butt.
So true.
That's funny.
That's sad too.
That's actually funny. Okay.
Find a way to put that in. Find a way to put that in your routine.
That's good. I like that. I like that.
That's good. I like that.
I don't know how you got to be honest with me here.
Okay.
I really liked your feedback last week in regards to presenting you my stand-up material.
Okay. I'm, I'm,
Are you
I'll shoot
okay
it.
with it?
Yeah, for sure. Dude,
Okay.
hey, let me tell you something. My mother-in-law and my wife, we watched this episode together, okay? Because I want to see their feedback. All right. Mother-in-law is 74, 75, maybe 76, somewhere in that neighborhood. So if we're hitting with her, then that's really telling. And then Trish, obviously she's heard my shit for 30 years. She's heard you for 20, 28.
Yeah.
So, if we can make her laugh, then that's really doing something. Dude, they were crying laughing on the Jonas story,
Yeah.
Hersey. And then when you did the line, Dad, don't be a cockblock, dude, it was uproarious.
That's great.
Yeah, because they didn't see it coming either.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, I'm glad. All right, and I like doing this. And for those unaware, I'm getting back into stand-up comedy.
Yes.
I'm going to start doing some open mics as soon as I have 5 absolutely solid minutes of material. A tight, they call that a tight 5.
Right.
And right now I probably, Kev, I probably have 3 minutes that I'm very comfortable with.
Okay.
And I told you this last week. There's a couple of MCs, and they're people that have been in the stand-up comedy business for a long time. 2 separate people. They didn't get together to present this to me. I heard one back in 2019 when I was doing open mics, and then recently when I said I was going to get back into it, they said, "Well, you'll never ever be a successful comedian, Tim." And
Because
I said, "Well, why?" And they said, "Well, you're tall, handsome guy. The audience will not think that you feel pain. The reason why most comics are
Mhm.
successful is the audience can relate to them and feels pain with them."
Okay, I get it.
And yeah, but I thought, there's been some handsome comics, right? I mean, Jesselnick's pretty handsome dude, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they're out there for sure. But the overriding thing is pain is comedy.
Yeah.
Pain can be torturous or pain can be comedy. And true comedians draw upon their pain to make us laugh. So
Right.
yeah. And everybody's
Right.
got hardships, Timmy. Everybody has it.
Yeah. And so what I did, I put together, and this is rough. I mean, this is like, I threw this out on a stream of conscious about 10 days ago. And over the past 10 days, I'm tightening it here and I'm adjusting it there. I mean, this has never been spoken out in public ever. This is me bringing this to you, Kevin Kline, and you giving me initial feedback on it.
Okay.
And we'll go through it kind of slow and, piece by piece, because it's kind of a large chunk.
All right.
And I would love for this to get so good that I could do this out of the box so I can dissuage that whole
Yeah.
he has no pain thing.
Right.
So when you do something out of, basically the formula for comedy is your best stuff goes last.
Mm-hmm.
You go out on the best with your best stuff, and your second best stuff right out front.
Right.
And then in between, you have all the rest of it. So this has got to be good. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've told a woman, "It's not you, it's me." Then she pulled out the old Shaggy and Scooby-Doo legs turning and peel out and bailed on me like a brainstorming banshee is right on my ass.
Okay.
But now I've fully come to realize it is me. Let me know if anybody can beat this sterling track record. My last 3 exes, all 3 of them have unfollowed and unfriended me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2 out of 3 of them say Little Big Town's song "Better Man" reminded them of me.
Oh.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of flattered by the "sometimes in the middle of the night I can feel you again. I just miss you." I'm flattered by that part.
Uh-huh.
But the "I wish you were a better man" part cuts me like Gus Fring cut Victor in the basement lab.
Breaking Bad reference. Love it.
Oh, yeah, we'll have some fun initially. I do possess a certain set of skills that make eyes roll into the back of heads. And I can make you laugh like a toddler blowing fart bubbles in the bathtub. But in the end, it's the same old story. I'll treat you to an amazing lunch at Sugarfish in Manhattan, New York City. I'll have a helicopter fly us to the Hamptons for a 4-day weekend. Then on the last night, you'll run through a laundry list of my character flaws that annoy the shit out of you. The next day, after I hand you your luggage from baggage claim, you will walk out of the airport and I will never see you again. How do I know this? Because that shit actually happened.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I would love to have known that very detailed and frighteningly organized list of things about me that annoy you before I drop enough coin to actually make the national debt counter go backwards for a few hours.
For sure.
Or
I like that one.
I will treat you to some amazing lower level seats for Game 6 of the World Series, where we'll watch the Houston Astros take down baseball's most coveted crown, but none of that matters. Hell, I could get you front row seats to watch the Astros shower after the winning the world championship, but you're still going to reject me the way Europeans reject soap. On the bright side, it looks like I'm this generation's Good Luck Chuck. You know that movie, Dane Cook and Jessica Alba?
Okay.
All these beautiful women seek him out because word has gotten around that right after they dump him, they find their forever guy. Each of my 3 exes found their forever guy immediately after we split. I'm not sure if it's because it's just the way the universe is currently aligning, or if these ladies are so shell-shocked by being exposed to me, they'll take anyone that is less frustrating and has a pulse.
Yeah. That's good.
Regardless, beautiful ladies that are looking for your forever guy, I apparently am now the gatekeeper. Yeah, I can deliver 6 to 9 months of fun, travel, and satisfying physical relationship until that one day you've had enough of my shit. You wake up and decide to go Ariana Grande and hit me with "Thank you, next."
Oh, nice.
Then you can happily ever after the hell out of me with your new life, starting your bonding process with the new guy by telling him about the lunatic you were just with. You're welcome.
You're putting them on the path, buddy.
What do you think?
We need to get into it a little bit quicker. The beginning is not as solid as the end, so
Okay.
we need to figure out how to, because the end, like, I think about halfway through was really starting to kick.
Okay.
Yeah. So
like where Gus Fring cut Victor in the basement.
yeah, that's when what was the a couple things before that?
The Little Big Town Better Man.
Yeah.
Was that slow? Was that slow?
For people who don't know Little Big Town, that's going to go right over their head.
But even if I'm giving the lyrics,
that's what I was getting ready to say. You did explain it very well with the lyrics, and you singing. That's always going to bring the house down.
Okay,
so definitely keep that.
So you're talking like maybe getting right into it and going, let me know if anybody can beat my sterling track record with women.
Yeah,
my last 3 exes. So if I get right into it there,
yes, indeed. Yep.
Instead of the whole, it's not you, it's not me, Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
that can go.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be there.
No, I'm good.
Because
this is what I want.
Because the back end is so much stronger than the front end. Just get right into it.
Okay.
Just get right into it.
Okay, I like that.
So let me hear it. Let me hear it the way that it would go now.
All right. Anybody here in a relationship?
Yeah.
You'll always get some people. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Anybody here for break up with anybody?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let me know if anybody can beat this sterling track record. My last 3 exes have all unfollowed and unfriended me. All 3 of them.
Damn.
Is that a better way in?
Yeah. It's so much quicker, so much faster. And yeah, you hit it.
And I can do that like, as soon as they, welcome to the stage, Tim Tuttle.
Here, let me do that for you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your feature act of the evening.
Oh, wait. Not feature. Okay.
Your headliner for the evening.
No. Opening for Bill Burr.
Yes. He's Bill Burr's right-hand man. He selected. Bill Burr chose him out of everybody else in the world. ladies and gentlemen, longtime radio host and now professional comedian, Tim Tuttle.
Calvin. Thanks, Calvin.
Yeah. Dude,
And
it's so cool to hear your name and then have to go out there. Isn't it cool?
It is. It is. Even when it's open mic and there's only like 30 people, and even if you don't, even if like only like 3 or 4 clap, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, dude, it's probably harder when there's less people.
It is, Kev. Let me tell you this. It is so scary.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is when it's just, and I'm more impressed, in all honesty, with stand-up comics than I am musicians.
Mm-hmm.
They have a band, they have instruments, that when you're a stand-up comic, it's you and a microphone. And if you don't make them laugh every 15 to 20 seconds, you're dead. You're at war. It's actually a war.
You're going into battle for sure.
And you'll use every weapon that you possibly can. And I was actually having a discussion with Jonas about this. Jonas was asking, hey, so some of that gets pretty personal, Dad. And I said, son, man, you're at war.
Yeah.
And if I have some personal stuff that is a weapon, like I told him, I said, your Percy story is a nuclear bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, every single time to every single audience, even if they've heard it before, will laugh.
Oh yeah, because that is so relatable. How many times have people or have parents been embarrassed by something their infant child has done or said? It's got to be everybody.
Yeah, and even if you don't have one, I mean, come on, man.
That's just funny.
A kid running in Target thinking he's saying, I want Percy, but he struggles with his R's. I mean, dude, Kev, that was an unbelievable moment. The funny thing about that is, as many times as I've told that story since 2007, the people that were in the Target that day, including the old guy that said, don't we all, son? They've had a story forever.
Oh, they're telling it too, for sure.
I guarantee it. And I actually had somebody, because I think I related that story within the last 3 years of us being doing morning radio together on 93Q. And I actually had somebody approach me on it and said I was in the Target. He said that's a great story, Tim. I heard you talking about it a couple of months ago on the air. He said if anybody ever says, "Oh, that's not true. That's bullshit, Tuttle. That's a bullshit," you have them email me. I was there back in 2007.
Give them my number.
So yeah, that's anyway. I told him. I said, yeah, you're at war, and you will pull out any weapon that you have to win that war. And you're at war with the audience. You have to make them laugh or you're dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they kill you with the honesty. Like, that's not funny. They kill you with that. They're not fake laughing.
Yeah. There's only a couple of people that I know that could actually rebound from that, from nobody laughing. Norm MacDonald.
Oh, he loved it. We talked to him about that.
Yeah, I know.
Remember, I asked him, I said, do you specifically bomb on purpose because you love that awkwardness? And he admitted it.
He did.
He said, yeah, I'll throw out a stinker just to make the room honest.
Yep.
And that's what he said too. He said, I don't want people laughing because, okay, it's Norm MacDonald, weekend update guy here, and you've laughed at something I did. I want people laughing. I need them to laugh at these specific jokes right here.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll throw out something he knows is gonna bomb, and he wants to hear dead silence. A, because it makes him laugh because it's awkward, and B, he wants to know if the audience is giving him honest feedback.
There's two things that to illustrate this point. Go watch the video of Norm hosting the Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C. That was the most awkward comedy you'll ever see.
That's awesome.
And then when he roasted, when he was on the roast for Bob Saget, who was his best friend.
Yeah.
And he refused to roast Bob Saget. So he went up with index cards of dad jokes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. But nobody got it. Nobody got it.
And Kev, I had forgotten. I remember when it happened many years ago, but when he was on Conan,
Uh-huh.
It was 1998. He's on Conan. Andy Richter's over to the right of him. To the left of him in the guest chair is Courtney Thorne Smith.
From Melrose Place.
Yeah, she's on her last season of Melrose Place. This is before she was in the Jim Belushi sitcom and the other stuff that she did. She made a movie with Carrot Top called Chairman of the Board. And she's even gone on record saying she knew it was a turd and she had to go out and promote it and everything like that. And she is so happy that Norm took over.
He totally did.
And it became a classic. Should we tell some of the stuff he said, or should we let people go look it up themselves? It's so classic.
Yeah. I mean, geez, I mean, you want to tell people that what happened, but I mean, if they do, you can go ahead and tell it, because the way Norm delivers it is just, that's what's funny.
Well, she says that she has some love scenes with Carrot Top in the film, and Conan goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, it sounds like it's kind of like 9.5 weeks," and Norm Macdonald goes, "With Carrot Top, it's probably 9.5 seconds."
Yeah, like that. There was no pause.
Just like boom. I mean, he's so quick, and none of this is rehearsed.
None.
It's just Norm Macdonald being Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
And you gotta love that about him. And then Conan goes, "Well, it's still she's going to be on this still unnamed film." And Norm goes, "I got a name for it." And what did he say?
Box office poison.
Box office poison. And she's laughing.
Of course she is.
You could tell she's a fan of Norm Macdonald, and is just honored that she's using her appearance. He's using her appearance to get laughs. And then she butts in and goes, "Well, actually, there's a name for it. It's called Chairman of the Board." And
to which Conan says, "Do something with that, smart ass."
Yeah, he looks over at Norm. "What do you got, smart ass?" And he goes, "Well, the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D." That quick.
Everybody
down the house.
Yeah. Conan almost fell out of his chair.
Oh, Conan, you could tell Andy Richter was like, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable." And Courtney Thorne Smith, I thought she was going to pee her pants. She was laughing so hard. And you got to love that, that I became a fan of hers, when I saw that, because she's got a great sense of humor. There's a lot of Hollywood starlets that would just be like, "Oh my God, I'm trying to promote my movie. You just killed me. You just destroyed me." But she is just laughing her butt off. Yep. So I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for what we were talking about, what makes it really, really good is that he got into it so quick. And that was something that actually a comedian in Houston, Ted Vincent, actually told me that. I tried a couple of things out on him, and he's like, "You got to get in faster."
So, no, that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And
especially when you only have 5 minutes.
And you got to be quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, because you did some stand-up comedy. Did you ever have a heckler?
No, I can't remember one. No,
I was asking the comedian who hosted the open mic. I said, you ever have hecklers? It's because it's open mic. It's, people get drunk and everything like that. He goes, "Yeah, we got hecklers all the time." He looks at me, he goes, "I wouldn't worry about it though. I mean, the people look at you and think, oh, I'm not going to heckle him. He's going to come out in the audience and kick my ass," which I wouldn't.
No, of course not.
But I would hit him with stuff.
But you're quick enough. You're quick enough to diffuse that right away.
Kevin, I am actually praying to God that I get a heckler eventually.
Well, if you don't anytime soon, okay, and you want one, I'll fly down and I'll sit in the back and heckle you, and you can just throw out that material then.
Oh, that would be great.
Just use me as a plant.
Oh my God, that would be great, dude.
Wouldn't it be funny?
Particularly if it's an audience that isn't responding like they should be responding, and then you just throw out a heckle, and then I'm ready in such a way that can turn everything around.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, tell me if I'm wrong. The greatest response to heckling in the history of comedy is Bill Burr in Philadelphia about 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's not a response. That's a soliloquy.
It was so good for those unaware. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna tell you what he did. You need to look up Bill Burr Philadelphia. That's all you have to Google.
That's
Bill
it.
Burr Philadelphia, and what they did is they did a festival in Philadelphia, a comedy festival. Massive crowd, and it's late in the day, and the crowd is completely taken over the situation. They're heckling and booing legendary comedians leading up to Bill Burr, and Bill Burr's the kind of guy where I'm not taking this.
Mm-hmm.
And he ripped in to the Philadelphia crowd for 11 straight minutes. They were doing 15-minute chunks, 15-minute sets. So the first 4 minutes, he's trying to deliver his stuff. He's trying to, and he's just like, okay. And he just starts ripping them. He's like, well, I'm still going to get paid. And he's counting it down as he's ripping them. 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left. And he's just shredding Philadelphia. And to me, he's so genius that to think of these scenarios like completely off script, to just go off and destroy, 15, 20,000 people in front of them and their city.
But by the end, what happened?
They were cheering him.
Exactly.
He ripped them to shreds, basically calling them every name in the book.
Oh, yeah.
You are the most racist people in history, Yeah. Here you have a legendary boxer from Philadelphia, Joe Frazier, but you're going to put a statue up of an Italian guy that's never boxed before, Rocky Balboa.
Yep.
You are so racist, and he's just shredding them. I mean, everything. I hope, and going really deep, I hope each and every one of you die a horrible death, and going into details and what. And I'm just like, wow. And by the end of it, that whole crowd, they didn't want him to go.
No, you can hear it.
They gave him an ovation.
Yeah, yeah.
And from that point on, Kev, he was not that turned him around forever. But not only that, he is now the comedian's comedian.
Yeah, well. And he's a lot of other people's comedian too. He's actually coming to Springfield, Missouri in about a month.
Are you going to check it out?
I might just try and see if I could go interview him for us.
Do it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do it.
I don't know.
Him, for those unaware, and Kev, you have this right here. You'll put it up. As you can see from the family tree, we were both Bill Burr and I are related to Aaron Burr. But a few generations ago, when it gets to Mary Burr, she takes me to my line. There's my sister, Tina Tuttle, and I'm obviously her brother. So, and he has, Mary had a brother, and that's his great grandfather. So we're like fifth or sixth cousins.
She had a little lamb too. I don't have any kids, but it's still a dad joke.
Thank you. Dad
You're
jokes.
welcome. Yeah.
Dad jokes.
Yeah.
I actually saw him with my ex in San Antonio, December of 22. Okay. So I don't think he's had a special since then. So I think it's same material, or maybe he's got more. He's always building material, but you're going to love it, man. He's hilarious.
One of his stories that I like is when his girlfriend brings home the pit bull.
Yeah.
That's so hilarious.
She's like, I bought a pit bull. They were talking about getting a dog. I bought a pit bull. And he's like, I'm on the road. You think I should probably be there for that.
Yeah.
And then she says, now you didn't think this over clearly, because I'm going to fly back into town. You've been bonding for 3 or 4 days with this pit bull, who God knows what's happened to this pit bull. What's floating through the head. And I'm going to try to gain entrance into our place. What do you think's going to happen, honey?
Yeah, it's a really funny bit. It's really funny.
Bill Burr is awesome.
Yeah.
Kev, I want to show you this. I'm getting next month, and this is just an amazing opportunity for me. I'm going to be shooting a TV show.
You have mentioned this to me, and I'm really anxious to see it.
Yeah, about the time end of January, early February, when I was talking about getting the itch and coming back and doing something creative. And then, what's happened between Kevin and I over the last few weeks has been amazing. But immediately I got an offer to host a TV show. And I'm excited about it, Kev. I can't give any details yet because we're going to have an official press conference about it. It's a nationally syndicated television show.
Okay.
And I've given you the details, and it sounds pretty cool, doesn't it?
Dude, it's right up my alley. Right up my alley. I really love this kind of stuff. And so I can't wait. Like I said, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. So it's going to be really, really cool. Nationally syndicated. It'll be on different network channels in different cities. Like it may be on the ABC channel in Austin. It may be on Fox in Phoenix or whatever, but it's going to be nationwide. Going to shoot the first 8 episodes in April. And Kev, this is no fly-by-night operation. I got a picture for you right here. This is what the set looks like. This is the kind of sets that this production company does. That looks expensive, doesn't it?
That looks like it cost a lot.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I'm feeling a little pressure, man. I'm like, oh boy, it just looks like from one of these situations that, a lot of people's livelihood is on the line based on what this radio clown / podcast clown delivers to us.
Dude, you've never felt pressure in your life.
Nah, I'm going to nail this shit.
Of course you will.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. But
Yeah.
I gotta get,
especially not with your meditation.
Exactly. I'll visualize every single scene. I will.
Yeah.
Because when you do a big time production like this, there's a lot of stop start.
Of course.
And that gives me a chance to go back into the trailer and go into my meditation and visualize my next segment. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. They call it editing. Yeah.
That's correct.
And post-production.
That's correct.
They're going to shoot you until you get it right.
Exactly.
So there's no pressure at all.
Exactly. But when we have the press conference, we'll play little clips here if you want to see them, see the official press conference releasing it. And yeah, I'm continuing to really ramp up my workout regimen. You got to get in TV shape, Kev. You got to be,
You're not in TV shape?
Not almost. I've leaned out. I was too silverback gorilla there for a while.
Okay.
So I've leaned out. And yeah, I should be fine by April, but that's going to be a fun thing, and I'm excited about it.
So when you shoot in April, when does it start airing? Do you know?
It probably be around the fall. It'll start airing around the fall.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we're going to shoot 8 episodes. They purchased 8. And they're actually talking about expanding it to 13. So it may actually be 13 already in the can, edited, ready to go for a fall schedule.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited. But of course, Kev, I'm really excited about our podcast. I love this.
Same here, dude. It's so much fun, and it just like we have a plan of what we might talk about. Dude, we've hit 2 things today. That's it.
I know.
That's it. I mean, nowhere on our sheet did we say we were going to talk about anal leakage today. And it just happened.
Boom. Suddenly you're talking about anal leakage. I mean, it can happen to anybody. I know a lot of you out there like, well, I've never been in a conversation with anybody where anal leakage would come out, pardon the pun. And suddenly you're talking about anal
You could
leakage.
be in a job interview and it might rear its ugly head.
Oh, that would actually be funny, Kev.
Wouldn't it though?
Holy cow. You just gave me an idea for a possible YouTube campaign where I have no intent. What are you laughing?
I can see where this is going.
Where I have no intent. I have no intention whatsoever of taking the job, but I just get these job interviews on challenges to work in phrases like anal leakage. And if I could get the job interviewer to say anal leakage, that's hilarious.
There you go.
Oh, we can present it to our podcast audience too. I could be like, okay, if I can get a donation of, $500, and we'll have a little donate button or whatever to the podcast, I will go out and do this. And if I can't get the person to say anal leakage, then we'll give you a Tuttle and Kline t-shirt or a mug or something like that.
There you go.
I love that.
See, an idea was born.
That's awesome. By the way, speaking of ideas, we want your feedback in regards to the podcast. We would love for you to, each of you to go on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. I just opened up a TikTok account a few
That's
days
right.
ago. And all you have to do is search Tuttle and Kline. The sign is easier. I think the AND will work too. And we would love for you to like, follow, download, subscribe, rating when you go on one of the podcast platforms and on YouTube. Please do that for us. I know you've heard that a lot, and I've heard that a lot too, but I didn't realize until we started getting into the podcast how very important it is for your audience to like and follow and download and subscribe and give a rating. That is so important, and it'll allow us to continue to do this.
Well, it's how people find out about podcasts, as the popularity of a podcast grows, as the audience engagement grows, more people come to the table, and yeah, we like our little club, but we want to expand that little club, it'll only make the show better.
And I'll tell you this, I don't know whether they're saying that there's a thing called Patreon where you have membership.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if you message us and you're one of the paid members or something like that with any question about us or our radio career that you want a completely honest answer, and we have to answer it honestly, but I'm just thinking of how dangerous that could be.
Yeah. It's as dangerous as you want it to be or allow it to be. But I've known about Patreon now because I've had the Fuzzy Mic since 2017. And I've known about Patreon because our old boss, John Lennox, told me about it, and I'm against it. I'm against it. And the reason I'm against it now, what you're proposing, I can handle that because we're giving them something back. Okay.
Right.
You make a $20 donation, ask us any question. Well, I hate asking listeners to pay for something that essentially we should be giving them for free. And it's our responsibility to go out and get sponsors, as we have with Air Innovations.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're basically, by you listening, particularly if you're still listening and watching this late in the podcast, you're already paying us.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And that's the promise that I would like us to make is we will continue to deliver high quality podcast content. You just go out and share the message.
That's it. Yeah. For those of you who have, listened to us for many years, please reach out to people that have listened to. Maybe you've had discussions about Second Date Update. Maybe you had, that. Please let them know, because we'd love to keep this thing going. We just need to keep moving up. Thank you for making us top 10% listened to podcasts in the world on our first episode. Debut. But now we got to head to 5%,
Yeah.
So we need more. So we appreciate it if you'd help get the word out. And another thing is our merchandising.
Merchandising.
We got some really neat merchandising. I love the color scheme, the logo. The stuff is high quality. We will not sell garbage. It is high quality stuff. You can go to the Tuttle and Kline Facebook page, and it has details exactly how to order some of our neat merchandise. And I'm going to back up on that. We're not going to answer any question that you have, honestly, no matter what it is, because the statute of limitations on some of it has not run out.
Oh, can we give a shout out?
Please do.
Desi, thank you so much for being the first person to purchase a Tuttle and Kline shirt.
Are you kidding? Somebody's already bought something?
Yeah, my friend Desi.
We just put it out.
She was the very first person.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Des.
That's awesome. Kev, what do you have coming up this week?
So coming up this week, on Friday and Saturday, the hockey team that I'm the public address announcer for, Drury University, my wife's alma mater, they're playing the former college I went to. They're playing Oklahoma State. So I'm announcing both of those games Friday and Saturday. And then a new episode of the Fuzzy Mic comes out tomorrow. And it's a tough one. It's about mental health. And my guest and I talk about our suicide attempts. Fun for the whole family. Fun for the whole family.
That's hilarious.
It's true.
But
it'll help people.
But during that time, he promises not to bring up anal leakage once.
We did not talk about that. No, I've recorded it already, and there is not one mention of anal leakage.
That's hilarious. Oh, hey, Kev.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make this, every podcast, but You just brought up something, and I have to present a regret
Oh,
with
okay.
you.
With me?
Yeah, when you bought you bought up Oklahoma State,
Uh-huh.
still hate myself to this. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, why do you hate yourself
I
about
hate.
this?
We were doing edgy content, and I was we take no prisoners. Kevin, was all proud. Oklahoma State. Didn't you donate to an alumni thing?
Yeah. Yeah. We were thinking about making our own baseball scholarship.
Yeah.
Trish and I were going to make our own baseball scholarship because I played baseball for one season there.
I was such a dick live on the air when we were in Birmingham. We called the Oklahoma State Alumni Association,
Yeah.
and we said, well, Kevin Kline went to Oklahoma State. What was it? 1 year?
88, 89.
And 88, 89. Yeah, 88, 89. And he's, wanting to do some stuff as an alum, and he's presenting himself on the air as an alum. Is he an alum? And they said, well, did he graduate from Oklahoma State? And Kevin,
No,
you
we
had
didn't.
you had to tail between your legs. You had to say what?
No, no, we didn't. No, he went 1 year.
And then they said, well, then he's a former student.
Yeah. And they're very passionate people, our former students, but they're not
Yeah.
alumni.
Yeah. We actually have a separate sticker for them for the car.
Yeah.
And I could just see this Oklahoma State like Calvary. If you put an alumni sticker on there, Kev, they would pull you over and be like, no, here is a former student sticker, sir.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I am so sorry that I did that.
Dude. No worries, man. No worries. It's all good.
Because I know you were not happy.
No, but you know what? In my
we're
heart,
still in our 20s.
Yeah, but in my heart, I know that I went there. I know I played one season for them, and I mean, I'm closer to an alumni at Texas State University than I am.
Yeah,
because I went. That's where I finished.
Yeah,
I got 142 college credit hours. I don't have a degree.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
I have 125 credit hours. I have a college degree. Kevin have 140 what?
142.
And has no college degree. Yeah. But let me throw this out to the Oklahoma State Alumni Association. I think enough time has passed since that phone call where you could declare Kevin Kline an honorary Oklahoma State alum, because he is the only person in history to have played footsie with one of your greatest alums, Barry Sanders. Kev played footsie with him.
Yeah, every Wednesday I would go to Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which was held in our weight room, and they would always do some sort of an icebreaker at the beginning so that you could meet people. And so on this particular night, I was there, and they decided the icebreaker was going to be, you pair off with somebody you don't know. You're going to stand arm length apart from each other, and then who's going to stomp on each other's toes, okay? And I didn't know anybody there. I'm the last kid picked. And who's my partner? The guy that shows up late, Barry Sanders, during his Heisman Trophy year. Yeah. Now, there is no win for me on this, okay? Because if I beat him in toe tag, I run the risk of maybe breaking a toe or something and putting him on the injury list. And if I beat him in toe tag, Barry, how quick are your feet when this dude can beat you? So I didn't have to throw the competition because he schooled me right away. But yeah, Barry Sanders stepped on my feet 3 times.
That's hilarious.
And then went on to win the Heisman Trophy that year.
And then became one of the greatest running backs in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, a lot of people
super cool guy, by the way.
Don't know this story. He was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, Gold Jacket, Canton, Ohio. Kevin, of course, feeling that he's bonded with Barry Sanders, flew there for the induction, and just prior to approaches Barry Sanders and say, hey, Barry, it's me, Kevin. And Barry Sanders like, I don't know, who are you? And Kevin took off his shoes. Barry looked down and said, oh my God, it's Kevin Kline,
a former student.
Yeah, he's like, oh, somebody whispered something in his ear. He's like, oh, I'm told I can't really talk to you because you're not an alumni.
That's right.
You're a former student, so
here's your sticker.
All right, man, let's go out on that, Kevin. It's been fun.
It's been a blast, bro. And again, we'll have all this stuff up for you on right away.
Let me tell you this, but just to end it, you, sir, I don't ever want you to be down on yourself. You are the greatest former student of Oklahoma State University that has ever walked the face of the earth, pal.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
I'm out.
See ya.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. Also, you can catch Tuttle on TV. He is a handsome man. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.